Hey y'all, it's your girl KV coming at you with another review. Today we are doing season 4, episode 4 of Power, book 2, Ghost, The Reckoning. So y'all, I got home and got settled. Made my little, y'all know I gotta have my tea mosa. Made my little tea mosa and came on back here to do my review. And my husband was getting home with my daughter. And she came on in. So I was supposed to do this like 30 minutes ago. But y'all, every time she see me on the camera, she gotta come in. Subscribe to my mommy channel. I just remember, like the video. Bye, friends. So I really might just loop that. I might just make myself an intro or outro with her because she seriously wants to be a little co-star / producer. So sure, Melina, then you can look at the TV screen and see, that's me. Because she's always like, that's mommy when we're on YouTube and she sees my little face pop up. But anyway, to the episode. So y'all, before I get started, I think the picture is on my phone and not my iPad. Okay, it's right here. Y'all, everybody has been arguing me down that Diana did not sleep with Celine. And when I went back and I started browsing through some episodes because I'm like, I know I'm not crazy, y'all. Here is Diana and Celine in bed together, right? Now, the episode that this is in, it doesn't give us a definite if they did do it or not, but the way that the scene was, it kind of insinuated that they did. So I'm gonna go with the fact that they did because they in the bed. He ain't got no shirt on, but like she got on a pajama top. They was heavily making out and she was just giggling. And she was with it for a little second and she was like, I think we need to get back to studying. But it felt like round 2. She was, saying no to round 2 and not saying no to sex altogether. But I guess we'll see when we figure out who the baby daddy is in future episodes. I just don't think it's Tariq. I don't know if it's Tariq, y'all, but we'll get there. Let me take a sip. So the episode starts with Tariq and Brayden looking for Diana. They at her dorm room and Kane and Monet is right behind them. Everybody ready to kill Drew and Diana. I'm just call them D&D. If you from Memphis, D&D used to be this club called Denim and Diamonds, if you're not from Memphis. And when I was little, I used to always want to go to Denim and Diamonds, but it was closed by the time I got old enough to go. But we're just going to call them D&D for the time being. Kane and Monet have this quick little conversation with Tariq and Brayden. And my eyes burning. They have this quick little conversation where Monet is asking Tariq if he tried to shoot at her. He's like, nah, it wasn't me. But he's like, you worried about that, but you got bigger fish to fry, lady. Your kids are trying to kill you. So even if it was me that tried to shoot you, I'm not trying to shoot you right now. And your kids hired somebody to try to shoot you. So that's what you need to be worried about. Kane is like, I don't like this little NIG, but he right. They gotta go. He got a point. They gotta go. Tariq then goes to Effie's room looking for Diana, and he tells her what happened. He's like acting all surprised that they would set him up and, they're trying to kill their mama. That's messed up. I said, not you saying somebody trying to kill their mama is messed up when you killed your daddy. Anyway, it feels like, you knew something like this was happening. They ain't never been on your side like that. So why you acting like they betrayed your loyalty or something? Y'all ain't never been like that. Kane and Tariq are both texting their respective people to get eyes on D&D. Kane is texting his street runners and Tariq is texting Pinky. Diana and Drew are in the car, and Diana feels like they should just go to Monet and explain themselves. And Drew is like, what makes you think that us going to her bearing our soul will help? She don't care about that. They end up checking into this motel, and he's hungry. He's like, it's a Chinese place down the street. I'm gonna go grab some food. She's like, oh, how could you eat at a time like this? I'm not even hungry. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I'm like, that's that baby in your stomach, girl. She tells him to just order food and charge it to the bill. He said, one, girl, we in a motel. Ain't no daggone room service. We in a motel, girl. Ain't no daggone room service. And charge it to the bill. What bill? Did you use a credit card for this room? She's like, oh, I didn't even think about it. I don't have any cash on me. And as they're saying this, we see Monet already on them. They using their mama credit card. So of course she saw the charge, saw where it was, and went on down there. Monet is asking the motel clerk what room are the Tejadas in, and he's not paying her no attention. Like, girl, bye. Monet ends up pistol whipping him, and he finally gives up the room. As soon as D&D about to leave out the room, because they spent so much time talking about the room being on a credit card, they could have just left and they wouldn't have caught up. Monet wouldn't have caught up to them. But as soon as they opened the door to leave, Monet standing there with the gun pointed at them, y'all. She like, you dummies, you trying to run away, but you're still using your mama's credit card? Drew said, F it. If you finna kill me, I'm gonna let my chopper sing. And his chopper being his feelings. He's like, you don't care about us. You don't love us. You done set us up in this little terrible life. Our cousin, oh wait, our brother is dead. Our dad's dead. And you made me kill the love of my life, Gordo. You're a terrible mom. We might be happy if it wasn't for you. And then he ends up calling her a B-word. I said, oh, I can appreciate this scene though, because she needed to hear these things. You put these kids in this life that they didn't ask for. They was tiny little tots out here bagging up drugs and stuff. Just a mess. Diana ends up bum rushing her, and I guess she must have hit her in the kidney because it was so goofy how she fell, and she tried to scramble and get the gun. I said, oh yeah, she did recently get shot and had surgery, so she's probably still a little tender because the way she was scrambling around, I was like, why is she scrambling around like this? So they run out the room as Monet is trying to gather her bearings and get the gun. And they just run on down the stairs. And then Kane pops up like 5 seconds later, like, what happened? As Monet is coming out. And Monet is like, they getting away. Like, where were you? How they run past you? And so Kane is shooting at the car. Bang, 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 bang. I think he got like 5 shots at the car. I was like, oh, this car must be bulletproof because he let off a good bit of shots. So back at campus, Tariq is at the candy shop looking for Diana. Brayden is like, you need to focus on these drugs we need to sell. You worried about the Tejadas. Like, man, come on. Reek tells him he got to handle it. And I'm like, exactly. You talking about you want to be a partner. You want equal this. You don't want to be left out of no information. Well, sir, here's your time to shine. Show and prove. Show us that you deserve to be an equal partner, okay? Dry the boat. Dry the boat. So as this is going on, we see Detective Tate. Talking to Detective Carter about Zion and Roman and how he squeezed some info out of Roman when they had him cuffed and everything before they locked him up. He wants to pursue Roman and Zion for the drugs, but Detective Carter is like, nah, we got to keep that Tariq. Tate is arguing down to get Zion and Roman, and Carter tells him this story, y'all. It cracked me up. He's like, you know, I had this friend, and he was cool. He's always come over. My mom liked him. We used to argue along until one day he went to the kitchen, opened up the fridge, and grabbed himself a soda. He didn't ask or nothing. And my mama looked at him and said, get the out of my house. Yeah. That's my way of saying this my house and you don't tell me what to do. You want to call the shots? You lead your own task force, okay? Now you go talk to Reek and I'm going to get Monet. So when Carter gets to Monet's house, we don't see him get there, but we see Janet going upstairs to talk to Monet. And I think Monet had just got off the phone with Kane about getting Drew. So Monet is on 10 like always. And Janet is like, hey, and I don't got time for it. And Janet is like, you need to listen to me. You need to get your together. It's the detective downstairs wanting to talk to you. So Monet like, oh, dang, ooh, snap. Okay, cool. This part was so crazy. It's like, I know the detectives got to do their job. They got to try to squeeze the information out of them. But it truly cracks me up that they be thinking that they going to get Monet and Tariq to flip on each other or give up their entire organization. It's like, it's not likely, buddy. It's not likely, especially if you don't have hardcore facts on them. They're not even in cuffs. They're not even apprehended. Y'all ain't finna get nothing out of these people. I get that y'all gotta do y'all job, but it just be funny to see. Carter tells Monet that someone fitting Tariq's description was seen fleeing the scene of her shooting. Dun, dun, dun. Next, we see Noma goes back to Davis, and she's like, are you surprised that I called you? No, baby, we are not surprised. He brought you great paperwork that you needed to keep your nose clean for killing Obi. I already knew he was part of the team, okay? So she like, well, since you're a part of the team now, help a sister out. She tells him about how, you know, her legit business that she has, she brought it from Africa over here to the U.S., and so she lost a lot of contracts not being there anymore, and she needs government contracts in the States to legitimize her clean business, okay? So he gives her all this information. Okay, you need to talk to this politician, but he got a political aide that don't really let nobody get to him, so you're going to have somebody to occupy him, and you know, what time should I pick you up? She's like, nice try. I already got a name. And she's taking Kane, y'all. So at this point, I'm like, you taking Kane to a political event? It was interesting because I'm like, Kane, you know, a little smart and all, but can he hang in this type of situation? She asked him what she owes him, and he's just like, I'll let you know when it's time. I said, ooh, okay. So we see D and D. They slept in the car, and she's like, we can't do this again. We gotta find some way to come. We need some money. And my thing is like, they slept in the car, basically in the city, and neither Kane's people or Tariq's people was able to find them as sitting ducks. It just don't be making no sense, y'all. It really don't be making no sense. He tells her, you know, I gotta take you somewhere while I go hit the stash spot. You can't go with me. Pinky ends up seeing them, and that's the part that had me like, Pinky, are you just not realizing that it was them, and now once they're moving, you see them? Like, it just made no sense. But I mean, hey, it's TV. Pinky follows them and sees that this girl is going to Salim's house. She texts Tariq and lets him know I got eyes on Diana. So next we see Drew going to his little stash spot, which is like on the rail under a bridge. He gets there and Kane is like, are you looking for something? They come down, he comes down, you know, Kane already done took the money. I forgot you had that stash spot. Oh, I should have never showed you that stash spot. They end up arguing about everything as far as like, are you mad that we tried to kill Monet, or are you mad that you wasn't in on it? I'm like, Kane would never kill his mama. No matter how terrible she treats him, how many names she calls him, how many times she calls him stupid, Kane would never. But Kane ends up bearing his soul in this moment. He has been upset and feeling away because he had been trying to prove to his family, especially to Poppy, that he deserved to be the number two. When Poppy got out, Poppy just immediately made Drew the number two, and that made him feel away. He thought he was going to have time to prove himself. He didn't. He's been holding on to that resentment. Drew is just like, but you don't have that resentment for her for killing him? Like, make it make sense, big bro. Drew ends up rushing him and knocking the gun out his hand and getting the gun. And I'm in my head like, no way Drew is overpowering Kane. But I had to remember, Kane had recently been shot too, in the arm, not to mention. So, I guess. Drew gets the gun, he pointed it at Kane, and Kane's like, you better shoot me because I'm going to stay on your earth for trying to kill Monet. Drew does this angry yell and he runs off with the gun. Noma ends up calling Kane to tell him, you know, get to my house in an hour. He's still whirling from not catching D&D, and he's like, I got family business to tend to. And she's like, you work for me now, right? I thought you said you work for me now. Be here in an hour, right? So he gets there and she's like, I know you have an affinity for Gucci and Fendi, but sometimes you gotta dress it up a bit. He got this nice suit on, they looking good. They headed to the little political event. So we get there and I see why she brought Kane. She did her homework. The political aide to the man that she needs to be talking to is a little street dude, right? So she's giving Kane the scoop on him. Yeah, he's from, what was it, Brooklyn, Bronx, one of them. He's from, you know, the inner city, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, you guys have some things in common. He like, well, we both from the hood. And she's like, so he goes over to talk to the man. He goes to the bar, he orders a scotch. And the guy turns around, he's about to order a drink too. Which, like I said, none of this stuff makes sense. He had been standing at the bar all the time and he didn't have a drink. He didn't order a drink until Kane got there. But okay, hey, it's TV. So the guy turns around and the bartender's like, oh, and what are you having? Kane goes, don't even ask for Hennessy. They ain't got it. And so they kind of have a little laugh about that. They have a giggle. They fall off into a conversation. Kane acts like he went to Clark, and the guy went to Clark too. And I'm like, when did you get all this information on him? Because Noma just gave me the scoop, and she didn't say nothing about school. And did you get the scoop? Did you already know his name or something? But he acts like he went to Clark. That's where the guy went. They hit it off, and the guy is talking about how he wants to do this mentoring program to show the kids that they ain't got to succumb to the streets, right? Meanwhile, Noma is over there talking to the politician guy. I think his name was like Wiley or something like that. She's talking to him, and the bids, he hasn't selected somebody for the contracts yet, but the way he's making it seem is like he already know who he's gonna pick. But the bids are still open. She's like, well, I'm gonna throw my bid in there, shoot. And he said something like, okay, well, I assume that your citizenship papers will be taken care of by then. She's like, I throw a little money at that too. He's like, a lot of money. So Kane ends up getting a call from Monet, and he just dipped on the dude. It cracked me up. Dude was like, oh, tell the little homie stay up or something like that. And dude was just looking like, what? Because I'm sure the dude was at least expecting to exchange cards or something after such a conversation, especially with somebody that went to your alma mater. On campus, we see Brayden doing drugs with his little girlfriend, y'all, and he is telling her everything. Not necessarily everything, but he's telling her too much to the point where she pieces it together like, oh, you selling drugs? He like, you sound real judgmental for somebody that be doing the drugs. She's like, no. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I see you. He like, well, could you not see me? I don't want to be that guy. I'm just doing this because I got to type deal. And she tells him she's not judging him, but for her participation, she want a little something too. She wants some drugs off the top. He like, well, Rick would never go for that. She says, well, he don't have to know. Don't tell him. I said, you're going to have to fork over some of your money to pay for them drugs to keep her quiet because you talking too much. So Tate finally catches up to Tariq and is talking about, oh, you was on the scene when, Tate, you was on the scene when Monet got shot. He like, did you tell her this? Well, you putting a big unnecessary target on my back. Like, what is you doing? Monet ends up calling, and Tate is like, you need to take that? Nah, she ends up texting Rick, you lied to me. Then we see Monet at home. Janet is coming to give her pills, and Janet is like, what's wrong with you now? And I'm like, Janet, were you not at dinner last night when she found out that her own 2 children, D and D, was trying to murder her? I mean, this is something that you can't really sleep off. You ain't really gonna get over that in a few hours. But Janet, like the rest of us, is just tired of Monet being so mean and surly. And she's putting the pieces together. Janet said, all these years, I thought it was Lorenzo, but it's been you pushing these kids into this life and keeping this mess going. You don't even know your own kids. You don't even know your own kids. Like, you don't even know Diana is pregnant. Monet like, what? And they do the background, like, confused SpongeBob meme. No, confused Mr. Krabs. Confused Mr. Krabs meme. They do that little background, and I was cracking up, y'all. She was like, how do you know that? How do you know that? How you see that? Janet said, the eyes in my head, they see things, and I see your daughter is pregnant. So we see Monet reflecting on the things that Janet has told her, and she walks by these pictures of the kids, and I'm like, did we see a picture of baby Kane? You got pictures of Drew and Diana, but I don't think I saw a picture of Kane, or maybe it was tucked behind Drew and Diana. But I'm thinking she finna pick up Diana picture and be like, dang, how I do this to you? How you got pregnant? Like, you supposed to be finishing college and stuff. She is up picking up Drew's picture, and then that sends her into this flashback where Drew had to be like preteen, early teenage years, maybe like 13 years old, and she's got him going to do a drug drop-off with her. He's complaining because he wanted to go to the art show. She's like, nah, we finna do this. So they get to the house, and the man who they dropping off the drugs to, he giving Monet a hard time because she a woman. And y'all know Monet ain't going for that. So he like, oh, you Lorenzo's? She's like, I ain't nobody's. Do you want these drugs or not? They go in there, and, she's like, where the money at? He like, dang, you uptight. You want a drink or something? Da, 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 da. And he asks, what's wrong with your mama? Don't talk to my son. And it just ended up being this mess. Monet pulls her gun out on him. The man knocks the gun out of her hand and kind of attacks her. Drew ends up picking up the gun and pow, one to the head. Now, he did. And he was very traumatized by that moment. And when they get outside, she just acting like ain't nothing happened. She just putting the money. They end up taking the money too. They got the drugs still, and they take his money. So she just putting the money in the little stash spot in the truck. And he's back there hyperventilating, just going crazy. And she's talking to him like, boy, you better get your head in the game. Basically, I can't remember what she said, but it was essentially, get your head in the game. Back at Salim's nice behind house, I was like, wait, how he get out of his house and he a TA? Then I had to remember that he had them rich white parents that he was like disowning. So Diana is stressing that Drew hasn't been back yet, and she tells him that she made a horrible mistake. He's like, what's going on? I made a horrible mistake and I just don't know what to do. He ends up giving her the keys to his parents' spot in Greenwich, Connecticut, because they're on vacay for the month. I think he said Turks and Caicos or something like that. How she get to the house, we don't know, because it's like you can't use your credit cards or order an Uber because Monet can get that and know where you at. So how should she get to the house? We don't know, y'all. We don't know. But once she leaves to go to the house, Reek ends up getting to Salim's house, which is another little stupid plot, because it's like, was Pinky not still there to see that Diana had left? He gets in the house. Salim just opened up the door. Knock, knock, knock. Salim just goes and opens up the door. I'm like, who does this? Especially if you know somebody that is being watched and followed. Just left your house. You're just going to go open up the door all willy-nilly. Tariq's like, I know she here. Where's she at? Salim trying to act all tough. Reek pulls a gun out, of course. pulls a gun out, and where's she at? She at my parents' house in Connecticut. Reek said, see how easy it was for you to jump? And that ticked Salim off because that made him push Tariq, and they kind of get into a struggle. Bow! Tariq shoots him. But the spot he shoots him at was kind of like the chest stomach area. So it's like, I'm not going to believe that Salim dead until we see his body in the morgue. He might be dead. He might not be dead. Reek is pissed. He like, dang, I wasn't even coming here to be doing all of this. Which we could tell because he ain't have on his all black. He ain't have his face covered. He just came in there to shake him out this information. He wasn't trying to shoot the man. But he scurries off to go get Diana. Now, how did he get the full address? We don't know. Was Pinky still on her? We don't know. Just a lot of things that aren't quite adding up, right? So Drew has to wait till nightfall to hit the bodega where the stash money is. And I was confused, right? Because they said it was their family store, their family bodega. But it looks like it was the bodega that Gordo and his family had it, where he gassed them out, right? Because I only remember the Tejadas having the bar and not a bodega. So I was a little confused about that. So this is when Kane follows him after he had left the party. He had left the party where Noma was. He just dipped. He about to shoot him. He about to shoot Drew, and Monet calls in the middle of it, and she's like, don't do it. That's still family. Put your brother on the phone. Where's Diana? We got to get to her before Tariq get to her, because he gonna kill her. Okay, I'll send you the dress. He hangs up and he tells Kane, you're like her little cyborg, huh? Whatever she say, you do. And he's talking smack to Kane. Kane ends up pistol whipping him and telling him he got to move out of Mecca Penthouse. Y'all remember Mecca Penthouse that they live in with all the security? That I'm like, did y'all have to pay off the security to be like, this a hot spot now? Don't you say nothing. Nothing. Next, we see Tariq gets to Diana. He busts the window out on like a window pane on the door, opens up the door. She's right there in the kitchen. No music, no nothing playing, but she hears none of this apparently. I said, gosh. He walks to the kitchen. He's like, you sure I chilling for somebody with a target on their back? Y'all, this part blew me so hard because say, you know how like kitchens, they don't be like open concept kitchens, but it's like a few ways to enter and exit the kitchen. It's like a way here and a way here. And it looked like it was an opening on the other side too. She's here. She runs around the counter to come out right where the door is, but Tariq is right here at that opening. So he just pulls the gun out of her like, girl, what? I said, that was, okay. Okay. So she's like, let me explain. He's like, no, y'all set my mama up. She claims that she didn't think it would get to all that. But he's like, what did you think it was going to get to? You know how crazy your mama is. She killed your daddy. You think that she would have hesitated on killing my mama? He didn't say that, but that's what we all was thinking, right? So Monet gets there right behind him and got a gun on him. He's moved the gun from Diana to Monet. Monet is basically telling him, let's call a truce. I won't come after you. You don't come after me. He's like, well, why should I do that? Because I'm pregnant. He's like, what they got to do with me? Because it's your baby. I'm pregnant and it's your baby. And my king voice, that's the first thing I thought about. She pregnant and it's your baby. Now, Reek is, they don't show like the swirly head behind him like they did with Monet, but Reek might as well been the Mr. Krabs meme as well because he was confused, didn't know what to do. He just runs off because, y'all, he still got business to tend to. They still got drugs to sell. So he shows up at the little underground party concert that they're doing. This little band on stage, the song is trash. It's trash. But Bruce Chandria's body, banging. I said, my God, the proportions on that woman. Not so light-skinned Keisha was looking good, even though that catsuit was ugly. And the song was terrible. I still was mesmerized by that scene. I ain't even gonna hold you. Reek gets there. He sees the whole operation going on. They can have an ordering app, of course, because it can't be led right back to them. What's charging? Okay, girl, I'm gonna have to check that in a second. Talking about some charge to my credit card. Who done stole $12 off my cord? So he's checking out the whole operations. Like I said, there's an ordering app. They just send a text to all these people. Oh, it's a party with the little link for the ordering app. And they're selling the merch with the drugs in it. I'm like, what do the people that don't want the drugs and they buying like a $50 t-shirt? Like they just gonna see them drugs fall out one day and be like, oh my God. Like I just be wondering about stuff like that. So they have the powder in the little baggies and they tape it to the tag in the t-shirt, and the pills go in a false bottom on the bottom of the water bottles. He sees Brayden there sitting there talking. He talks about how he's stressed. He needs a little blunt or something. He takes Brayden's. And it cracked me up because I'm like, you don't even be doing all that. You don't even be, smoking and stuff. But I mean, I guess you gotta, calm your nerves. A lot just happened just now. Found out you possibly an idiot. So he goes to sit at the, well, not sit, but he's standing at the bar and he sees Anya, Noma's daughter. And he goes over there like, yeah, what you drinking? I'm gonna buy you a drink. She said, I can buy my own drink. He looks up and down. I can see that, but why should you? I said, Reek finna be like this. Reek finna be like this. Because, Reek ends up hitting every pretty girl on the show that's within his age range. Like, he always gets them. So, I truly don't think Anya is going to be any different. I really don't. So, it'll be interesting to see where Anya's head at when she not screaming at her mama and yelling at the people that work for them. It's going to be interesting to see like what kind of conversation she's having with Reek, if Reek actually does get a chance to hit. And, if she finds out, oh, you work for my mama or you used to work for my mama? Okay. It'll be interesting, y'all. But I really do think that he gonna, really like that. The next episode is the mid-season finale, and then it goes on pause for like a month. I can't stand when they do that. Just give us the whole daggone season. Why we gotta have this long behind pause? But anyway, y'all, that is the end of this review. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, y'all. I am hungry, and I'm supposed to be going for tacos and margs with a friend, but I don't think she texts me back. And we supposed to be going in 30 minutes. So if she don't text me back, I ain't going. I don't just be leaving my house unless I got a certainty, y'all. But that ain't what y'all here for. Bye, y'all. I hope y'all ain't hear my hips popping. That was my hips popping. Shut in. Oh. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.